Welcome to Show You the Money.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Show You the Money with attorneys Rob and Keith Shindler, founders of Shindler and Shindler. They're brothers, they're trial lawyers, and they're known for going head-to-head with insurance companies to get real results for injury victims across Northern Illinois. I'm Sean O'Connor, and today we're talking about the mistakes people make after an accident that can seriously hurt the value of their case. Gentlemen, good to see you.
Good afternoon. How are you doing?
Sean, nice to see you.
What are we talking? We're talking about common mistakes, right? What are the most common mistakes people make? What have you seen that people do after an accident that end up hurting their case in some way later?
So I'll go first. Yes. The one thing I always talk to Rob about is how some people, when they get their text messages, are slow to respond. If I send a text message to a friend, sometimes I get a response a week later.
Yeah.
A client, for whatever reason, a person injured in a car accident, they don't know the extent of their injuries. They get a text message from the other person's insurance company offering them $600. And the mistake they made is responding very quickly. They click, I accept. We've talked about this in previous podcasts. That's the biggest mistake.
You know,
Right.
the thing that people need to understand is sometimes you just got to count to three, take a breath, and just slow down. Because just because that text message says, call us, we're going to give you $1,000 doesn't mean that's the text message you want to respond to quickly. You just got to slow down, take your time, and know that sometimes the people that are reaching out to you are not reaching out to you with your best interest. The people that are reaching out to you may be the people that you call a few minutes later.
So number one, biggest mistake, responding too quickly and accepting an offer that's a lowball offer and not representing the true value of your case.
Number two is something that my brother talks about all the time. People take pictures of everything, Sean, right? They take pictures of everything. We could see what someone has. Just go online. You could see what someone had for breakfast this morning. They had some nice Melba toast. They don't take a picture of the car. They're not thinking because they're so distraught, right? And their endorphins, everything's going so fast. They don't take a picture of the car. And then that car's taken away, potentially is destroyed, or at least they can't get a picture of what they need to show exactly what happened, which in turn will allow us to show them the money.
See, Sean, what I like is that Rob and I are very excited to do these podcasts because you asked what's the biggest mistake, and we didn't even let you ask this follow-up question. We gave you two right off the bat.
Right.
Let's keep rolling. Let's keep rolling.
I
Sean.
want to know if when they text me, hey, we're going to give you $600, if I were to respond right away, that's an interesting opening offer. Would I get into trouble?
No, I think that would be a nice response, and they would probably increase it to $750.
But I like what you say, because you're not signing anything, you're not accepting anything, and you're not doing too much talking. You're slowing down. We all like to talk, as you could, especially us lawyers. Sometimes less is just more.
But Sean, you respond like that. I think it's very effective for you to think about that. The problem is what puts a lot of water on that position of responding, I'm not happy, what's other offers. You're not trained in valuing your case.
No,
Person who's injured in an accident, they're not trained. They need to call Rob or Keith and let us negotiate for them.
Okay, that's clear. That is clear. Speaking of timing, responding too fast, other timing issues, medical treatment. What is it about delaying medical treatment that can create problems in an injury case?
That is probably the single biggest asset that you can give to an insurance company, and the single worst thing you could do for your claim.
Delay.
Because listen, you would ask if you're not an attorney, you don't work for an insurance company, but you would ask yourself, if you heard that someone was involved in an accident and didn't go to the hospital after the accident, or the day after, or 2 days or 3 days, right?
Yeah.
You would wonder, how bad is this person injured if they didn't seek medical treatment? Because had I been in an accident, and Sean, been in an accident, I certainly would go get checked out. So the single biggest problem to a case is the delay in treatment. And the truth is, the single biggest delay in someone's health is waiting too long, because if you don't go, maybe something the swelling could have subsided, things that can get you on a road to recovery fast or faster.
You guys were talking earlier about breakfast on social media. I'm wondering about someone who's active on social media. Insurance companies are going to scope that out, are they not?
Yes, for sure. What will happen is a person's in an accident and they'll get up their Facebook or their Instagram or any of the other channels out there that are available to them. And they'll take a picture and say, hey, this is my accident. Right. They'll take a selfie and this is the accident in front of the damage to their car. But then they'll go out. So let's say it happens on a Thursday. Friday night, they got some plans to go out with their girlfriends or their boyfriends, whatever it is, and they're going dancing. Right.
Yeah, maybe.
They're rocking and rolling. And so it's so easy for the insurance companies to probably set it these days an AI program. The claimed injured person's name, scan all the social media channels. They get some pictures. Next thing I know, I'm getting an email on behalf of a client who I'm saying has 3 different levels of their back injured and a problem with their arm, and they're dancing to some EDM music.
And people always think this in every scenario. That stuff can't happen to me. That stuff happens to other people. Like, for example, I can't get in a very serious accident. That stuff happens to other people until it happens to yourself. Well, it's the
Yeah.
same thing with the social media. We had a case together where it was a very significant injury. We see it all the time. It happened a couple days ago. Very significant injury, and we're making a claim for 6 figures, and all of a sudden they see our client in the Bahamas jumping up and down on a trampoline. Well, how seriously injured are you? And so the best
No,
thing to
that was
do-
the trampoline therapy I'm doing.
yeah, well, yeah, and we'll try that. You know what that theory does for us though? That takes a case that could change the course of someone's life and maybe helps them pay for half of their vacation.
But that's another reason why it's very important to contact Schindler and Schindler early,
Yep.
because that's one of the warnings that we give our clients and how to go about the processing of their cases, stay off social media.
And so we're talking about the fact that these insurance adjusters get in touch with you right away and force you into making a statement. Not force, but what's the dynamic? Why is that an issue?
Well, they hold the purse. They've got the purse. You want to rent a car. You want to be able to get a rent a car to go to your doctor's appointments, to go to your follow-up hospital appointments if you need it, your follow-up doctor appointments. You want to rent a car to pick up your kids from daycare. And they know, the insurance companies know this, and that's why they have it's an uneven advantage. It's an uneven sense of bargaining.
And they sort of hold that over your head because they'll say, listen, we can't really move forward with the claim, meaning the rental car, so you can't get to work, you can't
Right.
go buy milk for your family. You can't start treating with the doctor because they're going to say, well, who's going to get stuck with the bills? But if you give us a statement, so that's why we don't give statements. If anyone's listening out there, insurance companies, we don't agree to statements. Until you show us the money, okay, or at least the possibility, you're not getting a statement from our client. And if you are getting a statement from our client, we are certainly going to be standing right next to them to make sure that they don't.
Or the client didn't call us fast enough.
Yeah, because you can't unring that bell.
Well, what about a phone call from the insurance company? Are they likely recording that? I assume they maybe have to say it's being recorded.
I think they have to give a disclosure for sure on that, but they're fast. I mean, you want to talk about salespeople. As soon as the insurance company gets the motorist exchange report, because sometimes the police report takes a couple of days to complete, but that motorist report is handed by the police officer to both parties. Sometimes our clients are in a hospital because they're transported by ambulance. But as soon as the insurance company gets our client's number, they call, because the motivation is so high to save money and to reduce the amount of money paid to the injured client for their injuries. They're calling fast.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but the most important, the most important part of the case could be the first few minutes, and that's full circle from the photos of the car, right, to getting treatment, to not talking to the insurance company without being represented. I don't want you to think that we're sitting there bashing insurance companies. We meet a lot of nice people in our careers, but the bottom line is they have a job to do, and they're doing their job. And it's
The business model.
it's naive of anyone to think that their job is not to save their company money. And so they're doing their job. Our job is to make sure that they don't do their job.
Yeah, there's no awards at the insurance company for the rep that handed out the most highest dollar
No,
claims this year.
no.
No, it's probably like a hierarchy. Used car dealers are the least liked, and then maybe insurance companies or lawyers, they probably trade one or two, but
Mechanics. I think people don't love
for
mechanics.
sure,
Yeah, yeah,
insurance
yeah.
companies are up there.
Well, Rob, you mentioned going to the doctor right away, getting checked out. What about when you go to the doctor, you get checked out, and you don't follow through, you miss an appointment here or there? Why is that such an issue to pay attention to? Why do insurance companies look for that?
Okay, so I'm gonna shoot that question to you. For today, you're playing the role of the insurance adjuster. Okay.
All right.
And with that beautiful shirt, you could pull that job off remarkably.
right.
So,
Thank you.
so you're evaluating someone. But how about this? In fact, we do this podcast with you. Let me switch gears for a second. We
Okay.
say we're so serious, we're so excited about this, right? And we do too, and then we disappear for a couple months, right? And then we come back and we do another one, and then what are you going to think? Are we serious about giving people the advice that we want to hand out every single podcast? Same thing with the doctors. If you miss appointments, the insurance company says, look, how badly could this person have been injured if they don't seek treatment immediately and they don't continue with treatment? Because the gap in the coverage, the gap in the treatment is one of the leading tools that an insurance company will use
Oh.
in negotiating or in court by saying to a jury one day, look, they didn't, if you, Mr. Juror, Mr. Juror was involved in an accident and were seriously injured,
Right.
would you miss 3 months of treatment? We're dead. We're dead before we even get in,
Yeah.
get the situation rolling. So that's why when people come to us, we talked a couple weeks ago about big firm, small firm, right? Well, we don't talk to our clients every 3 months. We talk to our clients a couple times a week. We do. We both have it on our phone. We have a tickler system that says, call this person, see how their surgery went. Got a guy having the surgery on Friday. You'll get a call from us on Friday night or Saturday morning. So we could stop the mistakes before they occur.
Got it. Got it. Yeah. Do what the doctor tells you, no matter what.
Absolutely.
Yeah. What about, well, I want to, you just mentioned, I have surgery today. You call me tomorrow. I want you to walk us through a situation where maybe a case became much harder because of something the injured person did, right? Or didn't do, right? Well, that's what we're talking about here. What's a real world scenario you could share?
Sure. So regularly what'll happen is, let's say we're representing a fellow, he's a 30-year-old person, well-built, not frail, strong guy.
Someone like me.
Like you.
I mean, almost identical to you. It's like looking in the mirror right now.
So what'll happen, Sean, is, and we talk to our clients about this, is many times they want to be brave.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is they'll go to the doctor, and whether it's the first visit or the fourth visit, whatever it is, in the process, and they want to be brave. And let's say their shoulder hurts them and their low back hurts them, but they don't want to be a complainer. So they're going to say to the doctor, well, my shoulder hurts. And then they don't report anything about the back pain. And then 3 weeks later, they're saying to the doctor, by the way, my back hurts. Well, you've got 3 weeks, not a day, not 2 days, not 1 week, not 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks later. And they're trying to be a genuine person about being brave. They don't want to look like a complainer. But the problem is you've got that gap. Well, the complaint is recorded, documented 3 weeks later. And it's like some commercial I see on TV. It's like it never happened. If it's not in the medical records, it didn't happen.
Did it happen? Did it happen during those 3 weeks while the guy was playing soccer? Did it happen at work? Did he slip and fall in his kitchen? So they have different tentacles of the octopus to try and utilize. We talked so much about the photos, right? Taking photos. We have a situation right now where with a lovely lady, she's wonderful, seriously injured, fractured, had surgeries. She slipped and fell at an amusement park, and she doesn't take a photo of the area of where she slipped and fell. That happened 10 months ago, right?
Yes.
So what are we going to, we're almost blocked right now because you can't go to trial with that case because where's the evidence? So the insurance company knows that, and then they start lowballing us, which in turn hurts the client.
Yeah.
Photos, doctors, slow down.
And don't be so brave because it happens very regularly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hear you. Listen, we covered a lot of good ground. We're out of time, and sorry to cut you off so abruptly. But I know we'll be back to get into this some more. But
He's a little race. He's very strong looking, but he's rude. All right, that's fine. We'll see in 3 months. How about that?
yeah, listen, go to therapy.
Too late. That ship's already sailed. In
All right.
fact, I gotta get off because I'm late already.
All right, enough out of you.
All right, see you next time.
Thanks, guys. That's it for today's episode of Show You the Money. If you'd like to learn more about working with Rob and Keith Shindler, or if you have questions about your situation, you can visit their website, schindlerandschindler.com. You can even call them. They'll pick up the phone, 847-WE-FIGHT. Thanks for listening, and don't forget, subscribe, share, leave a review so more people can understand what their case may really be worth. I'm Sean O'Connor. Have a great day.
Thanks for watching. Be sure to hit that like and subscribe button and leave us a review in the comments.